On va passer en anglais parce que Michael Edwards ne parle pas le français. You don't speak French, right?
I do not.
You do not, but you will learn sometimes. Okay. What is for you the professional revolution? What is your vision on this professional revolution?
Well, the speakers this morning have been extremely interesting, speaking about design and management of offices. And where we practice in Chicago, or where I practice in Chicago, is the environment all around those buildings and all around that work.
What is this environment?
So when people come to work, they walk on sidewalks, they ride a bike, they walk, they take transit. All of that experience all around before they ever get to their office has to be terrific. And if it's not, a city's less competitive. So we work in the common environment.
So the key word is to be attractive.
To be attractive and to be interesting. And people will walk farther if it's an interesting walk. And so things like public art, good design, lighting, all critical to a well-performing, high-performing downtown.
What is exactly what you're doing in Chicago?
So we are a business improvement district, and so we provide a range of services to try to address all of those issues. And so we try to make State Street specifically, which is a mile-long retail district in downtown Chicago. We try to make it as pleasant as possible, so landscaping, clean, safe, ongoing maintenance to make sure that everything is in its right place. This all gives people a great feeling of comfort, and they stick around, they shop more, and they see their friends more, and they congregate more. So that's sort of the core of what we do. But then we also are very involved with advocacy and planning to make sure that whatever is built in the loop, which is what we call our business district, adds to the vitality of the loop, doesn't detract from it.
And how do you guarantee that?
Well, we guarantee it through politics with a small letter P. Right? So we're not politicians. There's certainly the local authorities that take care of everything, but we have resources. A business improvement district, in our case, generates $3 million a year, which we can spend on a mile-long street, which is a lot of money for a mile-long street.
It is.
And so that allows us to collectively leverage some of the politics that we need to get other things done.
What are the results? You can feel that there's a changing ongoing on this professional area?
Yes. So much like where we are today, we went through some significant changes to State Street 20, 30, 40 years ago that tried to make it more like the suburban areas and not like the city.
Oh.
That mistake was corrected 20 years ago and really led to our organization being born to take care of this new street. And so what people want, in the States anyway, is a very urban experience. But they want a pleasant urban experience. They don't want a grungy urban experience. And so that's what we try to deliver on State Street. Oh,
what are your your real estate project right now? Any upcoming?
Well, one of the things that we've learned, and actually it's very much related to what we were hearing about earlier in the conference, is the notion of big data. And so we have a lot of businesses that want to locate, are interested in locating, but we only have anecdotal information. So now we have pedestrian and vehicular counters up and down State Street, and we can tell people exactly how many people on a daily, weekly, hourly basis, if they like, walk in front of their store, which tends to drive value, which tends to stimulate interest in more people investing in the loop, whether they're the retailer that's actually going to provide products and services, or somebody who might want to buy a building and make a significant investment in the loop. So data, we have found, is really a powerful thing. It's hard to use, it's a little bit hard to manage, but once you sort of understand how people want to use it and you can deliver it to them, it's a highly effective way to recruit new companies.
But how you can understand that what people want? You have to be close to them, you have to innovate for them?
Yes, you have to speak their language. Oh. And so we're learning, I've learned over 20 years, that, and I'm not a real estate person, but what really drives downtowns in the States are real estate professionals. And if you can't talk market value, you can't talk return on investment, they're not hearing them. So data helps us to be heard.
Oh, so another language.
This is
the key.
That is correct.
Okay. Could you compare Paris La Défense and the Chicago Loop?
Well, one of the great things about both cities is architecture. And so Chicago is known for its architecture.
Skyscraper,
right?
yes.
It's the Chicago style. And the architecture here is phenomenal. It's so interesting. I mean, I went for a run this morning, and there's just every place you look, there's something interesting to see. And I really have enjoyed that. So I think in Chicago, it's like our #1 or #2 reason people come to Chicago for a visit, to see our architecture. And so I think capitalizing on that, and I think your organization here is going to do that, highlighting public art up and down the Esplanade. And I think that's a terrific way to then showcase some of the really fantastic architecture.
You have
that's
also
all around.
a cultural dimension on the Loop?
Yes. So the Loop is, we get about, well, according to the mayor, we get 53 million visitors a year. That might be stretching it. I don't know how many Paris gets, but I suspect Chicago should not be getting any more than Paris. But,
oh, that's much.
But we have the Bean, it's called Cloud Gate. These sort of, Millennium Park is our big draw. And there's some very significant public spaces there that people just love to come to. And again, as we heard, these public spaces can bring people together. And those public spaces are doing a great job of that from a tourist perspective. But in the Loop itself, which is the historic business center,
the heart
of the economy, if you will, in Chicago, there's not a lot of great public spaces. And what there is has been neglected over the years. And so one of our big things we're doing right now is called placemaking, which is kind of a big term across downtowns throughout the world. And we're activating these vacant spaces, underutilized spaces. And one of the great things that your viewers might know about Chicago is they have great alleys. So if your viewers come to Chicago, they'll say, oh, Chicago's so clean. Well, that's because we have these really great alleys where all of our trash is stored. And they're very iconic to Chicago, and they're very large. And so we have now done placemaking in those alleys just to get workers to think about where they work differently than they did before. And so we have 3,000 people show up. We put art up on the wall. We have some kind of music, some kind of lighting, food and beer and wine, critical to successful placemaking.
Wow.
And 3,000 people show up, and they have a fantastic time. And the views, simply the views of how the angle that they're actually seeing where they work, are so totally different that they're just amazed. And 97% say they'll be back for the next one.
So this is very nice to have you here to share your experience.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you, and we'll catch each other after. Merci beaucoup, et on va continuer maintenant avec un nouvel habité. Et cette fois-ci, c'est France Go, le cofondateur et directeur conseil de LBMG Work Labs. Thank you.